What's going on, everyone? Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in to another great epic episode of Just My Opinion Reviews. Kind of a super duper edition, guys. We are talking Deadpool and Wolverine, full spoilers. Me and my lovely guest over here, we're going to spoil this film up, down, left, right, in, and out as if you've already seen it. That is your warning. So don't be complaining in the comment section, Brandon, man, why did you spoil this? I haven't seen the movie yet. You've been warned. It's on the thumbnail. It's on the title of this video. And so, again, that is your warning. And like I said, I'm not by myself. I got my home slice over here, Mr. E-Man Noisette from Chicago, Illinois. Sir, how are you doing today? Thank you for being here.
I'm good, man. How are you?
Fantastic. Very, very excited to talk to you about this film. I don't know about you, but I'm sure you'll let me know. This was my most anticipated film of 2024. I was not looking forward to anything more than this right here. I was going in, of course, with my expectations through the roof. I was wanting this to be, or hoping it was like the top 5 or top 3 out of the whole MCU. And I think with all the trailers and marketing and things of that nature, it seemed like it had that potential, you know, with Deadpool and Wolverine teaming up, being the first R-rated MCU title for Disney. Hugh Jackman finally in the MCU. I know you've been staying away from the trailers. Did you really only see the first trailer that didn't have Wolverine in it? That is some discipline. That is some discipline right there.
I did listen. They offered and I accepted. The moment they showed me Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't need nothing else. I'm already sold.
Gotcha. Well, that's what's up. I wish I was able to do that, but I saw all the trailers except for the last one. What was your expectations going into this? Was it medium, low, high? Where were you at on that?
So my expectations were, one, I expected that this was finally going to be a hit, you know, because Marvel had been kind of dragging their feet lately. So I trusted Ryan Reynolds' process. I trusted his marketing ability. I trusted his insight in terms of knowing what the fans want and what they like and being in tune with that. So I knew that we were going to get, or at least I expected, a good Deadpool movie. And then, even though that was kind of my baseline for my expectations, then Kevin Feige, president, head of Marvel Studios, he came out and was like, oh, by the way, if Infinity War is a 9 and Endgame is a 10, then Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be an 8 in terms of the level of impact on the MCU. So those were the expectations I was coming in with. I knew we was going to get a lot of fan service, Easter eggs, you know, a lot of jokes and stuff. So that's what I went in with from my expectations.
Gotcha. I think that's fair. Well, hey, man, let's go ahead and get into it. I know that I saw a portion of your out-of-theater reaction. I think you said, I think this is on the title of your review, too. This is the most Marvel-less movie ever. Marvel-y movie ever. But I haven't watched your non-spoiler review yet, which is on this channel, guys. Link is in the description, because I wanted to be surprised with how you felt here today. So I don't know how you feel. I think you liked it because you were smiling on your thumbnail, but I really did enjoy the film, E-Man. I did. It's not perfect, and most films and MCU movies aren't, but I really did enjoy it. At the time of this recording, I have seen the film twice now. Thank you, Marvel, for inviting me to a press screening Monday. And then I did see it yesterday when it was open to the release to the general public. So at the time of my non-spoiler review, I only seen it once, but this recording, I've seen it twice. And I did like it better the second time around. Did it reach my expectations? In some areas, yes. But I still have my gripes. I still have my complaints. I feel that there was one aspect that could have been edited out of the film entirely, because when I saw it the second time around, when this certain character or sequence popped up, I rolled my eyes. I was like, okay, can we please fast forward through this? Because I didn't really care for it the first time. But, you know, I'm definitely not going to care about it now. When I gave my rating the first time, I couldn't decide. I was like, is this a 7.5 out of 10 or an 8? and I gave it both ratings. I was like, I can't decide right now. Once I see it again, I'll have a more concrete rating for you, and I have that now, which I will give towards the end of this review. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I'll pass to you and let you kind of address the same thing, and then we can get into all the details.
Just in terms of what I liked from it.
Or, I mean, did you generally like the film, or did it reach your expectations and, you know, all that?
Yes, generally I did like the film. As far as the expectations, it was mixed, right? So as far as my expectation of this being a good Deadpool film, yes, it met that. And I think it accomplished that very well. You got the inside jokes, you got the fourth wall breaking, you got the unique Ryan Reynolds comedy and stuff. So, and the action, of course. So like, and those, you know, for that level, it did. Now, where it didn't meet my expectations and I was a little let down was, you know, saving the MCU or, you know, having a huge impact on Marvel. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't have it, because it probably will be revealed somewhere in the future. But I would say that it is unclear to me right now what exactly the future of Marvel is. I mean, they've probably laid seeds, but I'm like, I can't tell. So as far as that for expectations, it did not get met.
Okay, I think that's fair. And I'm, to be honest with you, I'm okay with that, because this really didn't have and it did, well, of course it related to the MCU, but it didn't affect it in any way, shape, or form. Like, you can go and see any other Marvel movie without seeing this one and not be lost or anything like that. But let's have some fun and get into some of these spoilers here. We don't have to go in order. I think when I saw your out of theater reaction, you said that there was a point or a character popped up and you verbally screamed out loud. I think I can guess who that is.
You think? Okay. I think there's a lot of guesses.
Okay. Was it Blade? Was it Wesley Snipes coming back as Blade?
You already know. You already know. You know, I hated the fact that there were even rumors about it, because I don't like rumors, because rumors, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If they pan out, you lost the surprise. If they don't pan out, you're disappointed because they didn't happen. So I hated that it was even a rumor, but it still hit. It hit so well. And I like the fact that I got to see this a second time with a general audience, because it hit them as well. Everybody was screaming and cheering and just full of glee to see him back on there. I don't know if you want to talk about the scene, but yes, that was the moment that I did scream for joy.
Good. I screamed for joy too. I was a bit audible myself. That was very, very exciting. It was kind of spoiled for me. Like, Pastor, somebody just straight up and told me, like, "Hey, B, I heard somebody working on the film that Blade is Wesley Snipes coming back as Blade," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Why would you tell me that?" Oh, my bad. And then I forgot about it. But you know, when I saw it in the film, I was like, "Oh man!" And hey, he still got it, man. In my opinion, you know, he had the white hair as well. I'm still campaigning that I would like him back as Blade in some capacity. But that was great. I did scream out loud. In both of my audience, both my screenings, and no shade to Elektra, Jennifer Garner, but nobody was loud or, you know, emoted with her. You know, it was nice to see her. I was like, okay, cool, because, you know, even though the movie was trash, I still liked her as the character. And I mean, the movie was awful, but she was still cool. But nobody was audible with her. But then as soon as Wesley Snipes came out, you know, everybody was screaming for joy. How'd you feel about Channing Tatum as Gambit? Did that work for you? Did it not? Where you at on that?
So, mixed feelings, because for one, I thought that it was funny. I liked how they tried to go super comic accurate with it. But I guess and I like the fact that they were poking fun of it, right? I like that Deadpool was poking fun at the fact that he couldn't understand him. I like the fact that, you know, my man was great with the cards and the special effect. Like, they made him look good. What I don't like, and this was the mixed portion of it, I don't want this to be a thing. I want this to live and die in the void. I don't need Channing Tatum to come back at all as Gambit ever. Like that needs to go to somebody else. It can go to an unknown. Gambit is a well-beloved character. I do not need Channing to do this. But I appreciate it if it's a one-off type of thing. Yeah. If it's one time, so he can stop complaining, so he can stop whining, because he's been trying to be Gambit for years.
Yeah.
If he can get this out of system, and if nobody can go gas him up, leave it be, let it be a joke, and let it die in the void, please. Yeah. But it was funny for what it was.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I feel a little different. I'm happy that he showed up, because he's been campaigning for that for a while. I think he did a great job. I think it was very comic accurate. Love the costumes, love the display of powers and abilities, all of that. I'm not, just cheering for him. Like he needs to be cast as the official Gambit. I'm not saying that, but if he was cast, I wouldn't care. Whether he is or isn't. If they went with him, great. If they went with somebody else, great. It doesn't, matter to me. I think he did a decent job, and I do like the fact that Deadpool was kind of making fun of the fact that he couldn't hear him and all of that, so or understand him. And it was funny. They took pretty good advantage of that. I like X-23 too. Of course she's grown up a little bit, because that was like 5-6 years ago. And so,
man, by the way, shame on Marvel for even put that out. Like that was one of the things I did not like.
What's that?
Because it was 1 week out. Again, I'm avoiding spoilers. I've muted words on my timeline and everything, so I don't see stuff. But because Marvel put that in like their third trailer or something, other YouTubers, other news outlets, they about to make all these, thumbnails and images, and they're like, X-23 is coming. X-23 is in the movie. And I'm like,
she was in the trailer?
It was in the third trailer.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it.
I'm like, yo, like I had 1 week to go, and that would have been, you saw how the movie set it up. The movie set it up to really be a dope reveal. And I'm sitting here like, dang, man, like, why y'all got to do this? Yeah. Like, you ain't have to spoil it like that.
Yeah.
So, I didn't like that. But I like it for the people that didn't know and were actually surprised. I think that was great for them.
Okay. Yeah. And y'all let us know if y'all was spoiled or not, if you was able to stay away, or if some a-hole ruined it for you. Let us know. We're both very curious. But you mentioned it, man. Let's go ahead and talk about the scene. Even though them popping up was great, the scene that they displayed all of their action and fighting and choreography was not as good as it could have been. I thought that it was horrible continuity. They should have died. They were outnumbered. I mean, the setup was great. Them pulling up. I don't know why Wolverine, Logan, Hugh Jackman, stalled, and he got out the trunk. And that I really
dramatic effect.
Yeah, that was kind of unnecessary. But it's silly to say that it's unrealistic. But I mean, come on, they were outnumbered. They should have lost. It was 6 of them versus 50 people. You had at least 15 to 20 antagonists up on the ledge, up on the cliff from a distance with all types of guns and rifles that could have shot them to smithereens. But, that just didn't happen. And they all had plot armor. Just no matter what, they was going to survive. They wasn't going to be defeated. I really didn't care for that. I was talking to a friend of mine that went with me the second time I saw it, and they gave an excuse or two. But I was like, no, that's just not executed in the right way, in my opinion. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah. I don't disagree because I was thinking similar things, right? Like Gambit and Elektra should have died. Like there's no reason why they should have made it at all. Now, if you tell me X-23 makes it, sure, she can heal. Wolverine, Deadpool, yes, they can heal. That makes sense. But how Gambit survived at all, with all that gunfire, how Elektra survived makes no sense.
Right.
Now, I will be honest, I watched this twice and I suspended my belief twice. I just was like, whatever. Like, but yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Cause I was like 4 against 55 and y'all like surrounded and all. How are y'all alive? Like, so yeah, I'm not going to begrudge you on that at all. I think you, that's on point, but I think it just really depends on how serious do you want to take this comedic movie? You know, because I didn't take this thing seriously, I didn't really care too much. But again, that was kind of ridiculous.
I got you. Well, I'm glad we do agree on that right there. Still very entertaining. You know, when it comes to these superhero comic book movies, I think a requirement is that you have to have a full display of all powers and abilities from all characters on both sides. You know, I don't want the movie to end like, dang, he didn't do this special move or this special move. Avengers Endgame was great, but that was one of my criticisms is like the setup was great for that last battle, but a lot of characters didn't do anything at all. You know, like we always talk about the Hulk. The Hulk, I think, threw only 2 punches. You know, I think you know, Hawkeye only shot his arrow 3 times, and I can go down the list. Like that in Endgame, War Machine didn't attack anybody. In the whole ending scene, War Machine they didn't show him defending himself or attacking anybody. But other than Juggernaut in this film, everybody had, you know, everybody showed their powers and abilities. Did you like the recasting of Juggernaut, or you know, really didn't do anything
I
for you?
didn't even know he got recast.
Okay.
I didn't even notice until the second time around. They were like, "Oh, you're the other Juggernaut" or something like that, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Chris Evans. How did you feel about Chris Evans?
That was fun.
I was surprised.
I
was surprised by that too.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, "Oh, snap!" So that's where Cap ended up, huh? And then they, you know, went with the whole Johnny Storm thing. So it was fun. Listen, my man has clearly gotten back to civilian life. Not saying he fat or nothing, but he clearly lost that Cap muscle.
Yeah,
because he looked a lot thinner. You know, not a bad way or nothing. It's just that he don't look as jacked as he used to. But it was definitely fun to see him either way.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. I was surprised. I did not see that coming. I was surprised that Pyro was able, you know, to handle him so easily. I mean, I know he can manipulate fire, but I didn't know it was, you know, to that degree, because, you know, he didn't do jack squat to him. So that was all cool. I was a bit disappointed with the Wolverine versus Sabretooth fight. I wanted that to kind of last a bit longer. It was just kind of one and done. You know, they set it up.
I hated that it got leaked. I hated that they even leaked it. The set photos were going around online of I think it was Deadpool holding up Sabretooth's head, and I'm like,
yeah,
well, there goes that right there. You know, like, again, I hate how people just can't relax.
Yeah,
and let people enjoy the movie. But yes, the scene itself was very lackluster. Like, I thought we was gonna get a good moment.
Yeah,
at least 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. You know, somebody body slamming somebody, but you know, I was really, you know, getting to the edge of my seat. Like, yeah, the last time we saw this was in 2000, 24 years ago. And also X-Men Origins Wolverine. That was I think 2009, but that was kind of weird. But you know, I don't know.
Let me ask you this: how did you feel about the whole TVA mission with Mr. Paradox?
Oh, yeah, I was definitely going to get to it. Well, I like the fact that the amount of exposition we got to explain the TVA. If you did not see Loki season 1 or 2, that was cool for, you know, people just coming in fresh. But that was actually one of my biggest criticisms about the film, was the lack of story or it, you know, making sense. I mean, Paradox, okay, so he was in charge of a certain sector of the TVA, and Deadpool's timeline was going to expire in a few thousand years, and he just wanted to expedite it. So he's trying to turn on the Time Ripper. That was kind of weak to me. I understood it a little bit more the second time I saw it, but yeah, that I just kind of wanted a bit more with the story. That just doesn't really, you know, add up to me. That's your goal, that's your mission, that's what you want to accomplish. Like, I mean, why? Or it just, that's it. Like, I don't know. It just seemed kind of bland to me, you know. And then he had a relationship with Cassandra Nova. I mean, she could have left. Well, you didn't ask me that. I'll just stop there. I mean, that's how I feel about it. How do you feel about the TVA?
No, I think like my biggest issues with the movie in general is just that the villains were not that compelling, when I don't like to compare films per se, but just to kind of give people an understanding of where I'm coming from. When you look at the first Deadpool movie, I think what made it so effective was the fact that, when my man started saying, "Where's Francis?" and he kept looking for Francis, and when we finally find out who Francis is and his connection to Deadpool, I was sitting here like, yeah, let's go find Francis together. Like I really started to connect with them because the villain had a direct impact on the hero. So, that to me felt like it was lacking in this movie. I didn't really like Mr. Paradox's, motivation. I want to take over the TVA.
No.
Okay. And I mean, we could talk about Cassandra later, but like, I just didn't really think it was all that effective. I didn't really like I didn't even like his performance all that well, because I think that he is Matthew. I think the actor does better when you play the straight man. And what I mean by that is when you're the serious character and then you let Deadpool be the silly person. I mean, you see how that works with Wolverine and Deadpool. I think it would have been better for him, but they kind of made him a little wonky. He almost felt like a cartoon villain, in a certain way. And I was just kind of like, I don't care about this villain. I don't care about, him getting his comeuppance or whatever. Like it just didn't work for me the way that they wrote him. So I was good on that.
Yeah, 100%. Other than I didn't mind the performance. I thought it was, kind of hilarious. It worked for me. But if it didn't work for you, I completely understand that. But as far as the motivations or the lack thereof, yeah, that was a miss. But yeah, we could talk about Cassandra. I liked the performance, man. I did.
Yeah.
I did like her. She was very fierce. In these movies, they always have to do something very dramatic at the very beginning to let you know that they're the boss, that they're not effing around, that, if you cross them in any type of way, they'll kill you. And she did that with Johnny Storm.
Hey, real quick. Are her fingers really that long?
Oh my.
Or was that CGI or prosthetics? Because I'm just saying, she has some long fingers.
I didn't notice.
She has some long fingers, not just the fingers, but the fingernails. I was like, I've never seen a fingernail be the size of your whole index. Like, I don't know, because they kept showing all them close-ups of her putting her hands through people's faces and stuff, and I was just like,
that was gross.
Like, is that really her hands though? I don't know. Yeah, I haven't followed this actress, so I don't know. It was just something I noticed.
I haven't either, but Emma Corrin is her name.
Okay,
yeah, she did a
good job though.
Yeah, she did a decent job to me. I don't think I've ever heard of her before in anything else, but y'all let us know if you noticed the long fingers. But yeah, she was cool. She was cool.
Yeah.
She did the character justice. She didn't care. She just wanted to rule over the TVA. I'm not over the TVA, over the void. And that was it. She didn't want to leave. She had the full capabilities to leave because she had Doctor Strange's sling ring. But she was just happy with being there because she could be herself. But towards the end of the movie, she found out about the time rip and was like, I'm just going to erase all realities only to where the void is left.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, it didn't really do anything for me either. But
yeah, no, that's kind of the same thing for me and Mr. Paradox. Like, she felt like they just threw her in. She felt like they just needed a random villain. They went through the comics. They was like, we ain't done nothing with Cassandra. Let's throw her in here and just have her do things. So to me, the villains, both of them, they just did not work because I didn't feel the impact.
I'll give you that. What impact did you feel? Like, what was one of the things that you really did like about this movie that you're like, this is the best part, the best aspect. This is off the chain. I can watch this over again, repeat. What's that?
Well, I think the strongest element is probably the comedy. The jokes are hilarious, of course. I mean, the deeper a Marvel fan you are, I think the more you'll appreciate it. I love the Wolverine variants. You know, as a comic fan, I was like, ooh, I know that's the Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. Ooh, that's the other Wolverine. Oh, you know, like I was pointing them out. I loved, and I'm gonna say this to the people. I hope y'all will stop asking for comic accurate Wolverine. I'm so glad this movie showed y'all how stupid it looks to have a 5'1" Wolverine on screen. It does not work. Okay. Y'all be sitting here complaining, talking about, oh, Wolverine's supposed to be the. It's not the same on screen. So I'm glad they showed y'all how stupid and ridiculous it would look if everything was exactly like the comics. Sometimes you have to change it up a little bit. And by the way, most Hollywood actors are short, so you can't just have all these people of different heights. It looks weird. But with that said, I think the biggest and most fun I had was the fact that they were poking fun at Marvel. Yeah. You know, like I love that so much. And I think people don't understand how valuable it is for a studio, a company to realize and admit and poke fun at themselves of their own failures. You've never seen DC do that. We know Sony has been trash for years. Their Spider-Man spin-off movies, and they still act like they are still that hot fire. Yeah. So for me, as much as I know that Marvel is not perfect, Marvel does not have a perfect batting average, for them to be like, hey, y'all, we know we messed up all of phase 4. Mm-hmm. We know we have been hitting lately in the box office. Our bad. Mm-hmm. You know, like, the fact that they can do that, have a sense of humor about it, I think is very telling that, yes, they hear us, yes, they understand, and yes, they're going to try to be better. Doesn't mean they'll be perfect all the time, but they will try to be better. I like that.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I do agree with you. I'm not just saying 100%. I agree with you. That was one of the better parts of the film, that, you know, them making fun of themselves. It was one character. He was like, you know, welcome to the movie. He's like, you're joining at a low point or something.
Cavill.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, was it Cavill?
Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Henry, something about Superman.
When he, Henry Cavill when he did the Wolverine variant.
Okay.
He was like, man, we could treat you good over here.
Yeah, you joining at a low point. Yeah, I liked all that too. At times, I did think that some of the jokes, not all of them, because the movie is full of jokes from beginning to end, went on a little bit too long. But for the most part, I really did enjoy them. I was laughing from ear to ear, so that's cool. What I also really did like was just the fight between Wolverine and Deadpool. That was beautiful. That was good.
Well, which one?
I like the first one. The first one, I like more. The one in the car, I understood why. Wolverine was frustrated because he felt like he was lied to. It was like, you said
that was some good acting too, by the way. Like when he was getting in on Deadpool and was like, man, you just annoying, you just this, you just that. Like, and Deadpool was just like, listen, I'm just gonna have to fight you now. You can't come for my life like that. We just gonna have to fight. I loved how I thought that was probably when both actors did the best acting right there.
Yeah, I will give it to you. And the thing about it is, hold on, let me bring my face back up here, my pretty face. Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool had a mask on. And you can still feel the emotions and how sad he was. Like, damn, this jokester here, his feelings are really hurt right now. You know what I'm saying? What Hugh said is really, or Logan, what he said is really affecting him. And like you said, you can't. The only thing left is to fight. You know, after saying all that, because it's like you can't even maintain a relationship with the stripper. You know, I was like, God.
Yeah, he was ripping him. He was ripping him. Yeah, no claws.
Yeah. Right. That was that was amazing. And so good point as far as the acting is concerned. But it was nice, man. Them beating the hell out of each other, blood everywhere. They're dang near evenly matched, you know. And so
let me ask you this:
What's
How
up?
did you feel about Hugh constantly doing this crouching position?
I liked
Because
it
he did that a lot.
at least three
I ain't seen
times.
this man crouch like this like ever.
Yeah. I liked it. It's something we've never got before that is
Yeah.
accurate to the source material to my understanding. So I thought it was cool, especially the first scene, man. That
Mhm.
was beautiful choreography, man. Everything I wanted. And we got a lot of that in the trailers, in the marketing, but I still feel like they held back a lot. Like when their blades are intertwined and then just twisting it around, but then showing Hugh retract them so he can escape, but then releasing them again, just like little details like that. I thought was fabulous. I mean, and just seeing Logan with two swords in his chest or in his back, and him still just being able to like walk around and all that, like they really did the homework. Besides the jokes, the fighting choreography throughout the whole film, and that scene in particular it's some of my favorite. I really did like that. Now I'm gonna switch over to something I didn't care for.
Okay.
The first act of the movie, pretty
Mm.
much, it was very slow to me. I like the fact we got Deadpool. To be honest with you, the whole opening scene where he's just murdering, annihilating the whole TVA, that really bothered me. It's not the
Really?
violence because I don't mind the violence if it's deserved, but at that point in time, we didn't know what the TVA had did wrong to warrant that type of behavior from Deadpool. So I'm like, why are you just brutally murdering these people for no reason at all? Like I just that kind of made me uncomfortable a little bit. So I didn't really care for that, and I liked the fact that he was talking to John Favreau, Happy Hogan, wanting to be an Avenger. That was cool. It was a side of Deadpool that we've never seen before. I want to matter. I like that whole character arc between him and Logan throughout the whole movie. Everybody can relate to that. We all want to matter to some degree. But after that, when they got to the rest of his family that he brought back to life, Blind Al, his girlfriend, and I could have done without any of this. It just, I mean, yeah, they were just trying to show what he was fighting for throughout the whole
Yeah.
movie, which is friends, and but at the same time, I just wasn't interested in this. I mean, they had all those cocaine jokes that was spoiled in the trailers, but I really didn't get into the movie, bro, until he started trying to recruit Wolverine, and so
Right.
I was just kind of over all of this. To be honest, it was a slow start to me. You agree or disagree?
I mean, neither really. Like it was, I can understand why it's not the most appealing, I think that I think it served its purpose, right? Like, is that the part of the movie that I'm like gonna hurry up and rewatch and jump back to? No. But is it a part that I understand? Yeah, like it set up his foundation. These are the people that he loves. These are the people, this is why he's fighting. I get it, So I just kind of looked at it as like, whatever. But I also was never like, even in Deadpool 2, like I was not interested in all the other side characters that weren't mutants. Like it just did not appeal to me as much. But I also understood that they were just there, dare I say, just as filler. They were there to kind of help support the character, and whether they're there to give him advice or give him motivation or whatever, it was whatever.
No. Anything else stand out to you that you didn't really care for?
Well, if we can go back to the Wesley thing, as great as that was, I felt very conflicted when he said that one line. Like, there's only been one blade,
Really?
and there's only gonna be one blade forever, whatever he said. And then you saw Ryan Reynolds kind of look to the camera like, and I'm sitting here like, okay. Anybody that knows me knows, obviously, I love Wesley Snipes. I appreciate everything this brother has done. I've said it time and time again. There would be no MCU if it was not for Blade. Okay,
Right.
so like, don't nobody ever mistake my love and appreciation for Wesley. But at the same time, And I actually just saw somebody comment on this on my post. Wesley sat here during an interview, and when everybody was mad or some people were upset that Mahershala Ali was going to become Blade, Wesley made a whole interview and said like, "Yo, everybody be cool. I got nothing but love for this brother Mahershala. He's going to be a great Blade. You know, welcome to the Dave Walker clique and all that stuff, right? Just basically saying it's all good."
Yeah.
But then you come and say that line. Like everything else I was cool with, but why it felt like a personal shot, you know? And I mean, I'm sitting here like, I know that the Blade whole situation has had its delays, you know, and its issues, but to me, that felt like unnecessary black on black violence. You know,
man.
like, because that's what are you talking about? That there's only gonna be one, there's never gonna be no one else. Like, what are you like? Come on now, sir. Come on now. Like, I'm here for Wesley showing up again. Bring him back for Secret Wars. Bring him back for cameo. I love it. I'm fine with it. But sir, I don't want you as the new permanent Blade. I cannot do that. Okay. That needs to be passed on to somebody else. I've said it before, and I think even this movie might have shown people, again, I love Wesley, but my man is literally a senior citizen.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm not lying. Like at some point, you know, and I'm not trying to get political, this man is kind of like our Joe Biden. It's like, man. Okay, yeah, thank you for your service. You did amazing. But it's time to pass it on to the next generation. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. It's not a disrespect. It's not being mean. It's just saying we have other talented young black brothers who, the longer they do this production, not going to be young forever, but you could pass that baton. It's not going to tarnish your legacy. You always going to be the first Blade. You always going to be, for many people, the best Blade, and that's okay. But damn, can we start a legacy? Can we start a tradition? Can we get more so this can keep going? Because I don't want to deal with a 90-year-old Blade. I'm sorry. Okay. I just don't. So I didn't like that comment. I didn't like that line. I thought it was messy. I thought it was unnecessary. You know, just to kind of throw shade. Because, you know, and I'm sorry to rant like this, but obviously this is something that bothers me. But like Mahershala has done nothing but shown love and reverence for what, you know, Wesley did and all that. And I'm like, I don't think a 2-time Oscar Award winner deserves this. Not even from Marvel, not from Wesley, not from Kevin Feige. He doesn't deserve that. Granted, we don't know all the behind the scenes stuff, but from what we do know, at least from reports and rumors and stuff, I was really looking forward to more of Mahershala, and I still hope that they do it. But yeah, I just that line really rubbed me wrong. I did not like it.
Wow. Okay. You know, when I heard the line, I was like, ooh, you know, shots fired. But I accepted it because it's within the same studio. So I was like, it's all good. There's no shade at all. If it would have been, you know, if Wesley Snipes would have been in another movie from another studio that came out this weekend and made that line, then I would probably agree with you 100%. You know, like, damn, like, you know, that's crazy. You know, if it was, you know, Warner Brothers or Apple or whatever. But because it was in the same studio, I was just thinking that they probably greenlit that across the board, made sure everybody was okay with it, made sure that nobody was offended. I could be wrong, but, you know, it didn't. I was surprised by it, but it didn't bother me.
We've never heard from Mahershala. Like, I haven't heard from this man in about 2 years, maybe a year.
Yeah.
So, is this all of Marvel against Mahershala?
I hope
not. Is it Wesley against Mahershala? Like,
I hope not.
What's happening?
I hope not. I'm pretty sure it's
not. I don't know.
But y'all let us know what y'all think. Did the line offend you or did it not? Were you like shots fired? It was like no big deal. Let us know in the comment section. We are very, very curious to know. We're gonna check out these comments. I gotta say this though. One part that this movie was 2 hours and I think 7 minutes. You know, pretty decent runtime. Not long at all, but they could have shaved off a good 15 minutes.
What did you want to cut out?
This right here, the whole dog pool, Man, this did not work for me, man. Oh,
Yeah.
let me bring us back up. Dog pool, nice pool, kid pool, lady pool, all of the Deadpools. I was over it.
Uh,
I just I just didn't care. When they showed the dog pool the second time, I was like, oh Lord, can we fast forward? The dog was disgusting. He was nasty looking. I mean, dogs are supposed to be cute. I guess that's the point of
I
dog pool.
still don't know. I still can't believe that that's a real dog.
Ugh,
Like, I did not know that was a real breed. I was like, did they find like a disabled, like a rescue or something? Like,
none of it worked for me. Dog pool didn't work. Nice pool didn't work. I felt the whole fight at the end with Wolverine and our Deadpool versus all the. I think it was just completely pointless. And it was. I mean, there's no like. Okay, we know that it's very difficult for Wolverine and Deadpool to die. They can. They have rapid healing. I mean, they can die. Logan died in Logan. You know, under certain circumstances. But I was just like, there's just no stakes at all. Like, no matter, these Deadpools are not just regular people. They have skills too. They can fight too. And so for you to have 2 versus 50 and them just wash them completely, I was just like, this is dumb. I don't care. You know, even when it was over with, Peter showed up and they're all best friends, and then skip to the next scene with Cassandra trying to turn on the Time Ripper device. They just could have edited it out completely. Huh?
Everybody loves Peter.
He's okay. I mean, I like him better than Dogpool, but yeah, I mean, he's okay for real. But where is he at? Here he is, right here. You probably don't agree, and that's fine. But I just could have dealt without all the extra Deadpools. So that
I mean, you know, it's not even much of a agree or disagree. It's just, you know, I feel like this is just one of those things where either that comedy works for you or it doesn't, right? So if it doesn't work, I don't take that as a negative from someone, because there's a lot of comedy that don't work for me. Could I have done with less of Dogpool? Absolutely. Like, I no thank you. You know, the Deadpool core, that's from the comics. So for me, I loved it. I thought it was a really cool deep cut. I think it was his wife, Blake Lively, that played Lady Pool. And I think it was Matthew McConaughey that played the cowboy Deadpool. So to me, I just looked at that as, that's just fan service. Here's just some more gratuitous violence, you know, and we'll just find some stupid Deadpool type of way to wrap it up. So, you know, I was paying more attention to the cinematography. I like the side scroll panning of the action fight scene. Kind of reminded me of Old Boy. In my review, I said Streets of Rage, you know. So like for me, I was just like, oh, nice. Like I just appreciate it from the cinematic perspective in that case.
And you mean the original Old Boy, right? The original, not
Okay. No,
not the remake.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, listen, the nice pool, like, you know, you get the jokes. Like, to me, again, it's Deadpool. Like, Deadpool, my expectations with the comedy is so low. I'm just kind of like, whatever. Like, whatever you want to do. Ryan Reynolds want to show his face, fine. You know, I did laugh though, where he was like, regenerative powers? What you mean? It was like, what? I can hear. What you mean? I'm saying. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So you know, I mean, it was fine. It was fine for me.
Okay. There was no Taylor Swift. No Taylor Swift.
Oh, good.
Also,
I did not need that.
I was a bit disappointed with the post-credit scene, only because there was a report that came out that said, oh my gosh, the post-credit scene for Deadpool and Wolverine is the biggest reveal ever. You won't be able to believe what it is. I
guess the hell said that?
Man, it was within the past month. They were just like, it's the biggest reveal ever. Your head is going to explode. And so I forgot about the report, but when the credits hit, I was like, oh yeah, that report did come out. What are they about to say? And it was, you know, it was the joke of Chris Evans talking trash.
I will say that felt like it was a letdown, just because when you look at the post-credit scenes of the past Deadpool movies, those have been really good, right? Like, when Deadpool was going back in time and undoing all the mistakes and stuff. Like that to me was like, this is great. This is a great post-credit scene for Deadpool. Or even like when he did the Ferris Bueller thing, like, you're still here? Like, get out of here. Talking to the fourth wall. Those are good classic Deadpools. This one, I was like, man, y'all could have saved this for a mid-credit scene instead of showing us the X-Men behind the scenes stuff. I mean, that's sentimental, I guess, but y'all could have saved the Johnny Storm thing for the middle and gave us actually something else, you know, maybe something that would set up Avengers, maybe something like, because again, I don't know where we're going. I don't know what we're doing after this. You know, so yeah. I feel like it was a missed opportunity.
Very much so. Very much so. I think, what do we leave out, if anything at all? Anything you want to get off your chest? I really did like the ending, you know, with Deadpool trying to sacrifice himself and then Hugh Jackman jumping in there. And then they're playing the song, I want to take you there. And they doing the power of love and the shirts pops off and they got the abs popping and all that. That was cool. Hunter B-15 comes through and, you know, he saves the universe. And I thought that Wesley Snipes, Elektra, Gambit, all of them died when Alioth came, when they jumped through the portal, but Alioth came and, you know, took them out. When Deadpool was talking to Hunter B-15 and was like, hey, there were some people that didn't make it out of the void that are the reason we were successful. Can we go help them out? Was he talking about them?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
But yeah, man, wrap it up, man. What are your final thoughts or any? What did I not mention that you want to?
Man, there was something else you did say that I'm trying to think of, like, what else it was.
Showing my kneecaps.
Okay, so we talked about Hugh Jackman.
Okay, Hugh Jackman.
I know they joked about it. And I know they were like, they're going to make him do this till he's 90. And I'm sitting here thinking like, yo, please don't.
Right.
Please don't. And this is the same thing when it comes to Wesley, right? Hugh Jackman, oh my gosh, thank you for your service. If you want to show up in Avengers 5, great. You want to show up in Avengers 6, Secret Wars, great. I'm here for that. But this man does not need to be the very next, you know, MCU Wolverine for the 616.
Right.
Let him be in that 1005 with Deadpool. That's fine. We got the original colors, you know, that's cool. But for the 616, the Sacred Timeline one, please let that be a new actor. Let it be a new actor to take on the reins. We don't need Hugh Jackman forever. And I made a video about this. The main reason why is because some people think it's going to be awkward to replace him now. You don't think it's going to be even more awkward to replace him 10 years from now? You know, like how old is too old? And this is also a character that's not supposed to age. Hugh Jackman is human. I don't think it's fair for us to force this guy to go back to the gym at 50, 60, 70 years old.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it. I mean, that was one of the things he said in the interview. He was like, oh my God, I can finally stop eating boiled chicken and, you know, broccoli all day. Like, he was like, I can eat carbs again when he finally got done with, you know, Logan.
Pancakes.
And it's like, come on, y'all. We don't need him. After 20-something plus years, like, let's move on. It's acting. There are other people. And no, it does not need to be Henry Cavill. You know, it could be some other person that's just, because I think and I hope people walk away with understanding this. The reason why Hugh Jackman works so well, not just in this movie, but in all the past movies, is because he's a fantastic actor. You need someone who can act, not just look the part, because obviously he does not look like Wolverine, especially not from the comics. But the man can act his tail off. That trumps everything. When, like I said, when he was sitting here ripping at Deadpool, when he was having the emotional moment with Cassandra, you know, in the void and stuff, it's his acting that makes him Wolverine. Not the muscles, not the costume. Those are superficial. It's the acting. So I'm just hoping that we can move on and stop holding on to the past and the present right now. Realize we have talent out there. Hugh Jackman does not have to do this for the next 15 years. He can come back as cameos. That's fine. We love him. But man, we gotta expand.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, 100%. He's been doing this for 24 years, literally. So
Yeah.
that's 2000. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And done a great job, but this is a great sign off right here. Yeah, I mean, he can come back in Secret Wars or something like you said.
Sure.
But, you know, that's other than that, he don't need to be the main thing. I think that's it, E-Man. I cannot think of anything else. I talked about my likes. I talked about my dislikes. I mean, my main things was the too many jokes at points in time, the first act, the Deadpool core, and the story.
Let me ask you this. How'd you feel about the mask? With Wolverine putting the mask on?
I mean, it was fine. Definitely fan service. It didn't look real at all. It was kind of weird looking. Like, is this CGI or something? Like the white eyes were a little weird to me towards the end. I was kind of wondering, like, the white eyes worked for Deadpool, but you know, it took. I mean, I didn't care. It took some adjusting though. You know, it's not a complaint of mine, but you know, I'm glad they did it. You know, it really didn't. It was definitely fan service because there was no reason why that it was there for the story. But I don't really care. How did you feel about it?
I felt a little mixed about it, mainly because we've been waiting for it for years. I've been asking for it for years. They gave it to us, and I was like, yes! And then I saw it, and I was like, oh!
Yeah.
So to me, you know, and I think what made it awkward for me was the fact that it was like a dream being fulfilled, but it wasn't as, it's not the way you dreamt it that it would look, you know, like, because I'm looking at Deadpool's mask and I'm like, damn, whoever designed his mask, whatever, you know, animatrix, whatever that they doing, they did a phenomenal job on his mask. Like, you could tell his little expressions, his eyes, like even from the first movie, it's been on point. And I'm looking at Wolverine's mask in comparison. I'm like,
yeah,
could I get that off eBay?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure I could buy that off eBay somewhere. You know, like, I don't know. Whoever was in the costume department, I don't think that they really nailed it with the mask. The rest of the suit was fantastic.
Right.
It worked. But the mask, I don't know. It looked a little clunky, awkward. I think they needed to do a little bit more alterations. But I'm happy we got it. I appreciate the fact that they cared enough to give it to us.
100%. You are not wrong, sir. There.
But he don't have to wear that no more. He don't have to wear that no more.
This is true. This is true. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to thank you so much for tuning in to our spoiler-filled review of Deadpool and Wolverine. We really, really do appreciate it. Comment below in the chat, in the comment section, all of your thoughts. And again, it can be full spoilers because this is a spoiler filled review. So feel free to, you know, comment away without holding anything back. I want to thank my guest, E-Man, so much for tuning in. Thank you, my guy. I really do appreciate it. I love doing this with you. Why don't you let the good people know what you have going on your channel? Any San Diego Comic-Con coverage coming up? Let us know.
Yeah, so I'll definitely I'm actually going to move my live instead of Friday. We'll be doing it on Saturday because I know a lot of breaking news and stuff is happening on Friday at Comic-Con. So we will be talking about the Marvel updates if there are anything new or interesting. For my From people, there are some From things that will be happening. The trailer's coming out, so we'll be doing a breakdown on that and a reaction to it. And after this movie, I have had a bit of inspiration. I got to drop a new theory for you guys. I cannot explain what it is because I know certain channels be stalking me and then they copy my stuff and get millions of views and then leave me in the dirt. So keep your eye out. It has to do with Deadpool and Wolverine, and it also has to do with, I'll give you one hint just for you guys. I think that Deadpool and Wolverine explained the real reason why back in Loki season 1, why the Avengers were allowed to let Thanos do his snap and for them to go play with all the time travel and stuff. So I'm going to have a theory that explains that, and it will probably answer another question that you didn't even know you had.
Wow.
I'll leave it at that.
I'm definitely interested in hearing that, sir. If y'all don't know, his theories are epic. Okay. And so, yeah, make sure you, matter of fact, yeah, on his home tab, if you just scroll down to popular videos, all these theories and stuff, you know, they be on point.
Those are old. I got to get back into it.
Yeah. Hey, they still, you know, hold weight, you know what I'm saying? And so, thank you, E-Man, and I'm looking forward to that right there. And if you're watching this, I don't know if you'll check out his non-spoiler review, but those are his first impressions. I'll just say that. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I got some movie reviews for you. You know, Axel Foley, Quiet Place, Divorce in the Black. E-Man, did you see that film, Divorce in the Black?
Which one?
Tyler Perry, Divorce in the Black on Amazon. No. That's what you.
No. Your face told me enough.
You guys subscribe to both of us. We would really, really appreciate it. And until next time, guys, we want to thank you so much.
Wait. Did you give your score? Did you come up with your score?
Oh, yeah. I'm tripping.
I don't want to rob the people. They waiting.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It was a 7.5, 8, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. This is definitely better than part 2, in my opinion. I think I have to give the trophy to part 1 though. Overall, yeah. I mean, this was juggling a lot more, but as far as execution, I think part 1 crossed more T's and dotted more I's. You know, so I have more complaints about this one than I do part 1. I don't think I complained about anything in part 1. What about you, sir? What is your rating?
So for my rating, I actually gave it an 8.5 out of 10. So, you know, and if we're ranking them, yeah, this was definitely better than part 2. I don't think part 2 was my favorite. It's probably at the bottom. I kind of struggle with 1 versus 3, mainly because I loved 1. Like 1 was short, straight, just meat and potatoes, Deadpool action, fighting, all of that. And I really enjoyed it. But this one, I felt like it was more of a buffet, you know? So it was like, they just throw so much stuff at you. It's hard to just, like, I can't ignore Wesley. I can't ignore, you know, Hugh Jackman coming in. You know, I can't ignore that. So I feel like this one kind of sort of gets the small edge as being the best, but it's only because they just did more. You know, they just threw more. But yeah, so that's probably where I'd leave it. You know, 3, 1, 2, and an 8.5 out of 10.
Right on. Appreciate that. Again, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm B. Avery. That's E-Man, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.